Hi, I'm Talia Lyons. I'm 17 years old and just graduated high school.
I'm Zara Lyons. I'm 15 years old and I'm going into the 10th grade.
I'm Ayla Martin. I'm 13 years old and I'm going into 9th grade.
And I'm Serena Lyons. I'm 12 years old and I'm going into the 8th grade.
We're Indigenous youth from the Wabano Centre for Aboriginal Health. The Wabano Centre is a not-for-profit health centre for Indigenous people. It provides holistic and culturally relevant services to First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in the Ottawa area.
We're here to talk to you about the opioid crisis in Ottawa, how to recognize the symptoms of addiction, and our solution on reducing stigma because Indigenous people are one of the most vulnerable groups in society.
Too many people are dying from opioid drug use in Ottawa and throughout Canada. Part of the problem is that opioids are so addictive, but we also need to do a better job of recognizing addiction in others and making people feel safe to get help. Common opioids are fentanyl, carfentanil, heroin, OxyContin, and morphine. Opioids are stronger than the drugs our parents grew up with. People can become addicted on their first try, and the difference between life or death from an overdose can be as small as a few grains of fentanyl. There were a total of 74 emergency department visits to Ottawa hospitals for opioid overdose in March 2021. The number of opioid-related deaths in Ottawa had doubled since COVID.
The opioid crisis can affect anyone, like injured or elderly people managing pain, depressed people self-medicating to feel better, and lonely people coping with COVID isolation. When we asked which group of people with substance use problems were stigmatized the most, answers fell into the following categories: people who have used drugs, the underprivileged, and Aboriginal people. The best way to help someone who is showing signs of addiction is to talk to them and see what they have to say without judging them, blaming them, or shaming them. Encourage them to eat better, to exercise, and to manage the pain with the help of a healthcare professional. Ask them to not do drugs alone, and definitely not to mix them with other drugs or alcohol. Build their self-confidence through positive feedback, and ask them to carry naloxone at all times. It's free from pharmacies. If you come across an overdose, don't panic. Shout out the person's name and shake their shoulders. Call 911 if they're unresponsive, then give them naloxone and start CPR. If the naloxone is not working, give them some more every 2 or 3 minutes until help arrives. Don't forget to place them in recovery position.
We've come up with the acronym SWANS to recognize the symptoms of addiction before it's too late. S, sleepiness, W, withdrawing socially, A, anxiety, N, nausea, and S, sudden mood swings. As Indigenous people, we think of swans as a symbol of grace, beauty, purity, strength, wisdom, and healing. Right now, stigma is causing people to use opioids in secret and overdose alone. Stigma is discrimination against a person or a group of people based on inaccurate beliefs, such as they are to blame for lack of self-control. For example, Indigenous people are often stigmatized by society. As long as people are more afraid of losing the love and respect of others, they'll end up losing their lives instead. We need to reduce stigma so that people will stop hiding their use, and the people around them will be more aware of the problem. This way, they'll be more likely to get help before they die from an overdose.
It's important to get people talking about the dangers of opioid use, to teach them how to recognize the symptoms through SWANS, and to give them tools to help. To reduce the stigma of opioid use, this is our solution. Let's pick a national Let's Talk Overdose Day that falls within the typical school calendar. Next, we'll partner with local and national organizations to support and promote this day on their website and their social media. Finally, we'll make a video of interviews showing the impact of opioids on users in recovery and their families. By telling these stories of ordinary people we can all relate to, we hope to reduce stigma and help people see that it can happen to anyone.
A dedicated Let's Talk Overdose Day during the school year will keep the conversation about opioids alive. On August 31st, which is International Overdose Awareness Day, most teens are still in summer vacation mode and aren't thinking of opioids. On Let's Talk Overdose Day, partner organizations could reduce stigma and raise awareness about addictions by sharing our video and visiting schools to educate people about opioids and to train people to use naloxone to save lives.
We want to reach students in grades 7 to 12 because that's usually the age when kids start using drugs. A 2015 survey of over 10,000 Ontario students found that 35% drank alcohol, 18% used cannabis, 14% stole medication, and 10% used opioids. Opioid problems in these kids' neighborhoods and homes have gotten worse during the pandemic. Overdoses in Ottawa have doubled in the past year. School closures, isolation, and loneliness have caused a 70 to 100% increase in local hospital rates for teens' depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, eating disorders, and overdoses. Because mental health disorders and substance use go hand in hand. Opioid addiction could become much more common in Ottawa schools and across Canada.
Ignoring the problem won't make it go away.
By doing this, we're hoping to reach people before they become addicted to drugs.
Remember, you can't stop people from using drugs, but you can help people feel more comfortable talking about opioids and teach them how to look for signs of a problem.